The battle to save humanity from alien invaders rages on. Follow all the key developments exclusively on this channel. Aliens are slaughtering human civilians again. It's gruesome, and we apologize to anyone who finds these images disturbing, but that's what's going on in the city of Hong Kong right now. Hello. Welcome to the 12th episode of XCOM Enemy Unknown. We all hoped we'd seen the last of this kind of attack after XCOM put a stop to the last one 2 months ago in France. Unfortunately, at this point, it's clear the aliens were not prevented from doing this again. They've just been biding their time. At any rate, the soldiers can only do what they can do. And today their job is to try to stop this attack here in Hong Kong. So that's what they're going to focus on. And come to think of it, so will we. It's good to see that most of the squad has made its way to cover behind that van. The downside is most of them will not be able to fire at anyone coming from the direction of that store. And we have first contact. I'm sure they would have loved somebody a little bit easier to warm up on than a cyber disc, but they've got what they've got. At least one of the drones was killed via reaction fire.
That is not good.
Vorobyov earns the distinction of being the first of the crew to damage the cyber disc, but it'll take a lot more than that to put it down for good. He quickly tries to come back for seconds, but can't make it happen. Shimizu follows up that effort with a decent chance to hit, but can't even come close. The rookie Garza moves in for a closer shot, and this is a risky play. He is very likely to die if they can't kill the cyber disc before it has a chance to return fire. That said, he did a nice bit of damage there. If they're going to kill this cyber disc quickly, they need a contribution from Kuznetsova. And they got one. The next skill that Karam is scheduled to train in is the use of heat ammo, which will allow her to virtually double her damage against robotic enemies like cyber discs. But I'd say she did okay without it here today. And with the cyber disc down, the crew has to heave a little bit of a sigh of relief. That was a very dangerous opponent they faced, and they did manage to stop it without casualties. Now that said, we do hear another cyber disc in the distance, and of course there will be other aliens besides that. So we are not out of the woods yet. And the soldiers certainly recognize that, so they are taking this momentary lull as an opportunity to reload.
Back online.
And for the moment, there is nothing more threatening than a bump in the night. But if the XCOMers can't see any trouble, they nonetheless know that it's nearby, and so they stay vigilant and continue to hear signs of trouble, but still nothing showing its face. And so they continue to move forward bit by bit, spreading out a little bit from where they were so clustered together, and waiting to come across more aliens. For a moment there, I thought they were just going to hear them again, but not this time. 4 out of 4 misses on reaction fire. But Vorobyov steps up and offers a little bit of redemption. Kuznetsova has an excellent shot at the zombie and goes for it. Unfortunately, as it seems is so often the case with her, she misses. Garza has 2 potential targets and actually has a better chance to hit the zombie, but decides to go for the kill on the chrysalid and gets it. Vorobyov has a nice angle on the zombie, however, and he hits him hard with a blast of laser fire. With the zombie weakened, Delgado, a rookie, has an excellent chance at his first kill, and he makes it look easy.
On Overwatch. Roger, I've got my eyes on.
It must feel good putting a chrysalid down from nothing more than reaction fire, but the joy is tempered from hearing both another group in the background and the screams of more civilians dying.
Here they come.
And speaking of civilians dying, here's another zombie created by one of the chrysalids.
No, that is
Garza takes a shot but can't make it stick. Kuznetsova lines up a high percentage shot and misses again. Facing just one opponent who isn't close enough to hurt them, the squad decides on a mix of reloads and Overwatch to help protect those who are reloading.
We're green to go.
Overwatch. Aye, aye.
Rather than walk into their reaction fire, the zombie decides to stay put. A decision I'm pretty sure the XCOMers would wholeheartedly endorse. With her weapon on full, Karam unloads a devastating blast of laser fire. That leaves Garza to step up and for the second time in a row, provide a timely kill shot. Up to this point, I'm sure the squad is very pleased with their performance. They've killed a number of powerful aliens and not one of them has taken so much as a scratch. The only downside really is 5 civilians have been killed, and there are plenty more aliens left to deal with. Speaking of which,
Taken care of. Gus, I've got a visual.
so Karam has taken down one of the floaters before he can do anything, but a 6th civilian has been killed just out of their line of sight.
Pull back.
Garza has done some nice work these last few minutes, but now it's time for him to move behind full cover and reload. Karam steps up and she has a nice shot, but cannot connect. Shimizu's shot is a lot less good, and not shockingly, she misses. Kuznetsova has been on a real cold streak, but here's a chance for some redemption. I guess that speaks for itself. The floater looks to be in a sort of blind spot for Vorobyov, and he's not even going to get to take a shot, leaving the rookie Delgado as their last chance. And he puts him down. Now that was a timely kill. The floater was just about to return fire, and he had at least one, if not 2, of the soldiers flanked. I have to say, the rookies have actually been performing very well on this mission, but now we see that cyber disc we heard earlier. Shimizu is one of the few that has an angle that would allow her to even take a shot here, but it's a very poor chance. Kuznetsova, on the other hand, has a passable shot. And what do you know? Even a blind squirrel finds an acorn every once in a while. Since nobody else has a real shot that they can take at the disc, they concentrate on spreading out to make his grenades less effective and also getting behind cover. But Shimizu's move sends her stumbling right into a group of chrysalids. Unexpected? Well, remember, we heard them bellowing from behind the store, as well as heard the screams of civilians coming from back there. So perhaps it shouldn't have been a complete shock to her. But all that's left to do now is try to kill them before soldiers start dying. That effort starts well enough with 2 hits and 2 shots. Garza tries to follow it up, but unfortunately, despite having an excellent chance, he can't quite connect for the kill. Karam weighs her options. And she burns down the one closest to Garza. But with that, she's out of ammo and out of time.
Watch the sides.
Garza took this position to be behind full cover, assuming the Cyberdisc would attack from the front of the store. Unfortunately, when it came from behind like that, he was completely exposed and flanked. Delgado panics as a result, but in a way it's a good thing because he actually kills the chrysalid that was almost certainly about to kill Shimizu. The remaining chrysalid satisfies himself with killing yet another civilian. The squad is in trouble here. Delgado and Vorobyov are both panicked. Karam is out of ammo, so she decides to use a rocket, which will both severely wound the chrysalid and destroy his cover, will also keep the civilian he just killed from rising as a zombie. Shimizu moves back and rescues the civilian, but really would have preferred to occupy that very spot she was sitting in. Now, if the Cyberdisc moves forward, she is going to be flanked. Kuznetsova does not have a line of sight on the Cyberdisc or the drones and can only go on Overwatch. She does tag the disc with her reaction fire, but sadly that's not going to be nearly enough to stop him from doing whatever he wants to right now. And just as we feared, he targets Shimizu, and she's gone. And just as they've been doing, the accompanying drones repair the Cyberdisc, undoing virtually all of the damage that's been done so far. Delgado is all out of ammo and has to reload. Kuznetsova shifts over to actually get a line of sight. Karam is out of ammo and has no choice but to reload, leaving Vorobyov as just about the only soldier able to actually take a shot. And he manages to connect. If nothing else, that'll give the drone something to do. The disc is targeting Delgado now, and another soldier is down. The full cover helped him not at all. With the soldiers dropping like flies, it's important for the survivors to finish this disc while they can. And Kuznetsova gets them off to an excellent start in that effort. Vorobyov follows it up with another solid hit.
Weapons empty. Can't engage.
And that leaves Karam to finish the job. Fortunately, she has the ability to take 2 shots, but only needs 1. She'll use the second on one of the drones, and she misses. But the real threat has been eliminated. Well, the real threat to the soldiers. Unfortunately for these civilians, the drones are quite deadly when dealing with them. Karam tries again to kill one of the drones, and this time knocks him down. With just one drone left on the battlefield, Kuznetsova lines up the shot
I'm about to start keeping
and finishes the job. But after losing 3 of the 6 soldiers on this mission, as well as 11 of the 18 civilians in this immediate area that they came to save, I think it's safe to say that this mission was not exactly an unqualified success. If there's a bright side to the casualties, and it's hard to see that, at least they were limited to the least experienced soldiers of the group, and the more experienced ones continue to develop and receive new training. Karam will now do double the damage she normally would against robotic enemies, and Vorobyov's smoke grenade will now be twice as effective at providing cover as it previously was. Finally, Kuznetsova will get a bonus both aiming and to her defense when she's at a higher elevation than her opponent. There's no question that they would have preferred to save more civilians, but they did manage to reduce panic in China nonetheless. Still, there's no denying it's an ugly situation board awaiting the commander's review, and he is going to have some difficult decisions when he launches satellites. With the ranks of soldiers depleted, the commander sells off some relatively useless items and hires more soldiers. With that done, there's almost no time at all that passes before another wave of abductions hits. And it only takes him a few minutes to review the rewards and zero in on Glasgow. He's been in desperate need of a new assault class for some time, and the chance to pick up a lieutenant is too good to pass up. With Romero still healing up in the hospital, unfortunately, he has no choice but to put 3 rookies on this team. One can only hope that they fare better than their recent predecessors. Either way, that is the strongest team they could put in the field, and so that's who loads aboard the Sky Ranger. And that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you for watching, and please tune in next time.